My ultimate bunny has 60 catalysts inside of her, so in this video I'm going to give you the rundown of whether I think it's worth it or not, and my experiences with running a bunny like this. Hello everybody, it's your boy N here, and I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. So in today's video I'm going to tell you why 60 catalysts inside of bunny is 100% worth it, and I'm going to give you the explanation of why this is so freaking good. So without further ado guys, let's get right on into today's video. Before we do that though, my creator code is going to be on screen right now, so please do use that code, top link in the description, and my Discord server is also going to be linked, so please do check that out. It's a great way to come hang out with me, socialize, and if you need any help, you know, drop me a message and I'll take care of you. But yeah, let's actually get on into today's video. Now the first Descendant is a game full of many different Descendants, many different weapons, so on and so forth. But within this entire experience there's always been one Descendant that has always stood out to me, and that Descendant is Bunny. Now whether she is the reason you single-handedly picked up this game, fell in love with her second ability with the fast sprint speed combined with the third ability, once you put your catalyst into Bunny, you were a different level of hooked to her whilst playing this game. There was absolutely no denying that Bunny was an absolute beast, completely ahead of her time, making it so that a lot of the community genuinely wanted her to get nerfed because she was so overpowered in the early stages of this game. Now with the game gracefully aging and Freyna being considered the best mobbing Descendant and the release of Inez Rhea, this game is really taking its toll, and let's talk about what there is left for Bunny. Now let's break this gameplay down to the core. You use a Descendant, you use weapons with the Descendant, you use a reactor, and you use external components to bring an entire build together. Now if I was to ask a lot of players within the community what sort of build do you use on Bunny, they will either come back to me with some sort of response being I use the build you made, or I use a full crit build, or something in the middle of both of the builds. Bunny's builds have been designated and they have become very mainstream in one specific style of direction as of recently. Not to say that creativity is dead, but this is a quick glance at the crit build that most players will also use. Now as of recent there's been a flying bunny wave with using a flying bunny build on the Defiler boss, and I'm absolutely all for it. It just goes to show more builds for Bunny are being discovered. Now if you have a look at all of my builds over here, I can tell you that there is massive differences between almost every single one of them. If you were to look at the polarities used across all of these builds, whether they be the M polarity, the C polarity, the R polarity, there is always going to be some sort of a difference. Now of course you can just put a build together. If you find something you like on YouTube, you can put your catalysts in for that specific build, and majority of the time there is already going to be overlap, so you will only have to use a few catalysts. Now if we look at the Battle of Stamina, the C polarity in config 1, my general day-to-day build, that will not work against my config 3 polarity one Bunny. As you can see, I have 5 C polarity modules on this one. So of course having a ton of catalysts in means that you have complete and utter freedom whenever it comes to configuring Bunny, which is something I think is very powerful. In a game as centric as this, where it comes to Descendant builds basically being absolutely everything, having complete freedom with what you want to run and experiment with is a very powerful tool, is something that I believe in at least. Now of course Bunny has always been capable of bossing, and with the way that the game is going, Bunny seems to still be coming back, whether it be for Deathstalker and even for the Defiler. She is still a capable Descendant of bossing that people are not going to forget about anytime soon. Now Inez is definitely more optimal for the Defiler, but that doesn't mean that there's not also going to be a strat with Bunny. Every single Descendant will have some form of build or strat that allows you to complete every single content in the game in under a minute when it comes to bossing. Do not say that about Void Purge, you know, you get the gist, just keep it to yourself right now. Now on to the next point. I'm gonna go on over all of the perks that I'm able to think of off the top of my head at least. Now, I've already said that my builds are insanely efficient. I can run literally anything in any order, however I want and however I feel. Now, this of course allows me to be more customized with builds. I can like experiment a lot more, which is a very important thing, because you know, I like to consider myself a creator that doesn't really work against that doesn't really work with the meta too much, and I do like to find things off meta, and I like to do my own thing and then essentially come up with an optimal synergy, work on it, perfect it, and then make a video on it. And for me, in this exact use case scenario, Bunny is absolutely perfect for me to work a synergy out with. Now, this long term is still a resourcing save, and I do think that with my with chess, to be honest, I do think that ultimately this is a good way for me to save resources. Now, I know putting all these catalysts into Bunny may not seem worth it to you, but it absolutely is to me. Now, I do min-max a lot with builds to basically pull as much as I can out of her specifically, because I use Bunny for basically everything in this game apart from bossing, and I even still try to excuse myself and use her for bossing, but when I'm carrying people, that's not really too much of a valid option. A literal example of my experimentation is literally my live streams. As you can see in this gameplay right now, I am running a build or a test experiment when it comes to Bunny. So you know, I do my findings live as well, and I do come back to report to you guys. So now I'm going to go on over the downsides. Now, of course, this is insanely high investment, and I don't recommend anyone do this unless they are really passionate about the Descendant. I'm sure there's a lot of people that feel this way about Freyna or feel this way about Inez, so you know, I would absolutely encourage people to do it if they really believe in the Descendant. I absolutely love Bunny to death, and she is my literal right hand man, and I am absolutely gonna be backing Bunny until the day I die, so there is a reason I threw all of this in. Now, another downside I wanted to talk about is, like I said, the Bunny's builds have become semi-streamlined, meaning that there is really not too much variation when it comes to mods, and I do believe that this is a somewhat, or to some extent, a downside, because there is going to be the same amount of M mods, there will be a similar amount of A mods, there will be a similar amount of R mods, and overall you are able to basically achieve any build that you want with maybe 2-3 extra catalysts. Me going with full 60 on everything is absolutely overkill, and I wanted it because this is an achievement that I just think is hella freaking cool, because I absolutely love Bunny and I want to have everything on her. But overall, this I do think is a absolutely massive, I think that it's a massive perk if you're willing to put the time in to experiment. If you're not, then this is a steep investment that isn't really going to work out. If you're confident you can mess around and figure something out with it, whether it comes to the reactors, the sets, and a build for some specific meta that we don't even know yet, because like I said, this game is still young. It's not even been out for a year, and there's going to be millions of changes coming to this game. I'm just absolutely future proofing everything about my Bunny just for this exact instance, and I do believe that this is all going to pay off, and I'm going to hit a $1 million idea with Bunny. And you know, hopefully change the game. You know, that's a little guilty pleasure. You know, we all want to make a difference in the community, and that is what I feel like I'm going to try doing. So that is overall my opinion on 60 catalysts in a Bunny, and I really hope you have enjoyed. If you did, please do smash that like button. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing. I do a lot of videos on TFD. As you can see here, we got over 500 million damage on this Void Purge runs. You know, that build is solid, but it could be used, it can be used, but I'm going to put a little bit more work in and min-max this build to absolute perfection. So that's been this video, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please do smash that like button. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing. And yeah, that's this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.